I want to be back in WWE or AEW, but only if it's right. I don't want to just be back to be back. I don't want to just be a guy on the roster. Been there, done that. If I were to go back and listen, if right now my phone rings, it's Tony Khan or Triple H, I'm going to pick up. I'm going to have a combo, but I'm not getting on my hands and knees begging for a job. I haven't these past 4 years.
He is one of the most talked about men in professional wrestling. Well, they call them free agents, but I think that seems like a tired term. Matt Cardona, the general manager of Game Changer Wrestling. They say you're on the shelf, but you certainly have a lot on your shelf. You have a lot of collectibles on the shelf. I don't know how you can even physically get on that shelf behind you there, Matt. You're not active in ring right now, dealing with a post-injury surgery situation, but you're still making a lot of headlines recently.
Well, first of all, there's many free agents, like you said, but I am the agent.
Yes.
Better than all of them. And as for June, this is the busiest I have been since being released from WWE, and I'm not wrestling. And I wonder if there's anybody else in pro wrestling, not just independent wrestlers, WWE, AEW included, who have a busier June than I do. If they do, great. It would make sense because they're active. But I am not wrestling, and I am still, in my opinion, the most busy man in pro wrestling. And if I'm wrong, hey, prove me wrong.
Detail the injury and then detail how you're still busy, though. Like, it's, to me, like, outwardly, I'm a comic. I'm trying to book stuff on the road and do all these different things. And then when I see dates open, I get so anxious and I'm so frustrated. And then I see a full schedule. I'm like, good for you, dude. Like, you know, like I see a full schedule. I'm like, that's all right. I got call whoever that guy's calling. You know what I mean? Explain the surgery, and then you're still out there on the road doing all this.
Well, in wrestling, there is no good time to get injured. But when I got injured, it was not a good time. You know, I was just about to celebrate, if you will, 4 years being released from WWE, all the things that I had done. I made this nice video, spent a lot of money on it. I was about to drop it on a Monday. The Saturday before, tear my pec in the middle of the ring. It is what it is, right? This ain't ballet. No good time to get injured. And I got surgery that Thursday. And the next 2 days, all I was doing, I was on my couch. I was eating Five Guys, right? But I wasn't feeling sorry for myself. I was going over my calendar, reading through my emails, sending text messages out, rebooking myself all summer. I had to hit up every promoter, explain the deal. Hey, I'm injured. I can't wrestle. Do you still want me to come in? Luckily, most of them did, because in these past 4 years, I've built, I hate using this term brand, but the Matt Cardona brand, where if I come to your show, people are going to come, right? They're either going to come to meet me, get things signed to the meet and greet. They're going to come to cheer me. They're going to come to put their middle fingers in my face. The wrestling part, it's like a bonus, right? When Matt Cardona comes out, you know you're going to get a promo, the meet and greet. I'm going to get involved somehow, some way. And the wrestling is just icing on the cake. So yes, it sucks. It's unfortunate that I can't wrestle, but I've proven that I do so much more than just actually wrestle.
That's very few people have that attraction in the independent wrestling landscape. Very few people have.
I'd argue that nobody else does.
I was being polite. Okay?
I'm being polite too, but I'm being.
I got to go into a locker room on Saturday. Like I have fat. So I'm understanding of it though. So tell me about your life post wrestling. We've had a few conversations since then. You're going to put out this video of celebrating being released by WWE, and you are a guy that has reveled in not being in that company, but also benefiting from being in that company for so long too. And you're certainly something that's like parlayed that into so many things. What detail this video and detail why you're so happy to not be in WWE?
Well, the video's up. It has, no big deal, over 1 million views, whatever, in a couple days. No big deal.
No big deal. Just moving the needle.
Listen, I am forever grateful for my time in WWE. And of course, my time in WWE set me up for this independent run. But I knew I couldn't just be Matt Cardona, but still be Zack Ryder. I knew I had to do a complete 180, and that's exactly what I did. When I first got released, I didn't know what I was going to do. I knew I needed something, and it was the death match against Nick Gage that started it all. And I capitalized on that and I built upon that. And these past 4 years have been the most successful years of my career. I don't care how you define success, money, accolades, happiness, most successful, whether you want to count accolades, money, or happiness. So it's been a great time in my career. Now, I'd be lying if I said that I love wrestling in high school gyms and that I don't miss wrestling at Madison Square Garden. Come on. Come on, right? And you know, a couple months ago, I wrestled Adam Copeland, Edge, my literal dream match on AEW. To just walk out in a full arena, of course I miss that, of course. But right now, I'm doing the best I possibly can. I'm taking the things I can control and doing the best I possibly can at them. And of course, yeah, I want to be back in WWE or AEW, but only if it's right. I don't want to just be back to be back. I don't want to just be a guy on the roster. Been there, done that. If I were to go back, and listen, if right now my phone rings, it's Tony Khan or Triple H, I'm going to pick up. I'm going to have a combo, but I'm not getting on my hands and knees begging for a job. I haven't these past 4 years because right now I'm making more money than ever. I have more buzz than ever, having more fun than ever. I'm happier than ever. And, you know, Matt Cardona, like I said, not wrestling, and I'm booked more than I've ever been booked. It's a wild, and I don't want to Barry Horowitz pat myself on the back, but you know I do got to.
Don't pat yourself on the back.
Yeah,
don't pat yourself on the back. Avoid the pat.
Don't want to do that. But I've worked my ass off for this, and I don't think. I hate when people say, "Oh, so and so deserves this, so and so deserves that." I don't think anyone deserves anything. I have worked my ass off and earned everything that I've gotten in my career.
Mm-hmm. It's very admirable. So you brought up WWE and AEW. Has there been any updates on where you would want to go? Is there anything you see creatively, not just people calling you, but is there something you see on television? You're like, that guy, I think we could do some fun things. Is there something creatively that sparks in you? Because you are a creative guy. You wouldn't be on the phone. You wouldn't be doing all the things you're doing with Major Figs and the podcasting. You are a ever-flowing, fountain of creativity. You got to see someone on television think, me and that person could have some very fun stories to tell in the ring.
I mean, there's so many people, right? I mean, I could plug myself into almost any situation. Let's say Sami Zayn, IC title, come for that title. I had it for a day. Now I want it back. I want a real run with it. Cody Rhodes, WWE champ. You know, our friendship is it's pretty obvious. It's pretty public. Maybe we flip the script on that. My wife, Chelsea Green. There's a layup right there with that. And AEW, we had the dream match already with Adam Copeland. Now, do I align myself with him and help him against the House of Black? Or do I join the House of Black or Christian Cage? I mean, literally, I could put myself in any situation and deliver. So I'm not worried about, is there a creative story for me? But yeah, for me to go back to one of those places, there would need to be a creative story for me. I would need the two C's to be there, the cash and the creative.
The cash and the creative. I'm down for it.
That's a Jim Ross line. So from good old JR, the two C's, cash and creative.
I'll take care of you, kid. There you go. I've heard that one before. Let's get into this. Schaumburg Boomers, big event coming up here. I'm going to be there coming up on the 12th of June. This is going to be a very, very special event. And you're going to be there with Al Snow and Pro Wrestling Night. Very fun. There'll be a wrestling ring there. Now, obviously, you're not active in the ring, but you're going to have some involvement. You're going to meet and greet with the fans.
Absolutely. I'm so excited for this.
Section of sports and pro wrestling, always an enjoyable evening.
This is such a cool thing. And I was never supposed to wrestle on this show. It was just one of those things that it lucked out. I didn't have to cancel this one or postpone this one. I was always supposed to just do a meet and greet. And this is a nice, weekday booking. Extra money in my pocket. But listen, I love doing the meet and greets. To me, the meet and greets are more important than the matches. I try to tell guys and girls this all the time. Yes, you make extra money, but I'm not just talking about that. I'm talking about the connection you make with these fans. Mm-hmm. Because without the connection with the audience, what are we doing here? What's the point? It's all about the connection with the fans, whether they love you or hate you. And I feel like I'm such a polarizing character / person. When I come through that curtain, I'm getting a reaction one way or the other. And that's partly because of how I interact with the fans on social media, or especially at these meet and greets. So, man, I love these meet and greets. And, I was on the other side of the table when I was a kid. I was a diehard wrestling fan going to these meet and greets. So I know how important these things are because I was, like I said, the fan on the other side of the table. And who knows if I'll inspire, a little boy or a little girl to get into the business. That'd be incredible. Or maybe it's just a diehard fan who keeps that 8x10 forever. Like we're changing lives here, and it's so special to me.
Absolutely. It's coming up. Schaumburg Boomers going down in Schaumburg, Illinois. And get your tickets at boomersbaseball.com. That's boomersbaseball.com, June 12th. And, of course, get these special meet and greet tickets so you make sure you're a part of all those different things. A special package available at boomersbaseball.com. Q101 will be there as well. So great stuff there. A lot of memories in Chicago for you. But one of the best pro wrestling cities in the world, I would say the greater Chicagoland area. A lot of wrestlers tell me that. Do you have any fun times wrestling here in the greater Windy City area?
I would say one of my greatest career moments and one of my least career moments happened in Chicago. Let's go negative first, and with some positivity. When I was the GCW champion, I changed it to the Universal Championship. I spent a lot of money on this custom purple strap spinner, even had the Velcro on the back, and I debuted it in Chicago. It was supposed to be my night, but then Jon Moxley came out and screwed me. It was the Chicago screw job, and I have never, ever gotten a rematch for that GCW title. And I think it's only fair. I know Jon Moxley, he's a good guy, right? He's a fighting champion. Mm-hmm. He's no longer the GCW champion, but he's the IWGP champion. Mm-hmm. I think it's only fair that when I return, he gives me an opportunity. Maybe we do it in AEW. Maybe we do it in AEW. I'm sorry, maybe we do it in GCW. Maybe we do it in the Tokyo Dome. I think that's a big money match. Matt Cardona, Jon Moxley, IWGP World Heavyweight title. And as for a good memory, being with Edge early in my career, it was such a learning experience, both storyline wise and in real life. And I had a steel cage match in Chicago. It was myself, Kurt Hawkins, Edge, and Chavo Guerrero against Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels. I could say, hey, I wrestled Ric Flair in a steel cage in Chicago. So awesome memory for me. I still have my wrist tape covered in Flair's blood somewhere. Such a special night. The only time I got to wrestle Ric Flair, the only time I get to wrestle Shawn Michaels. And that's a memory I'll never forget.
Absolutely. Matt, you don't stop. You may have a torn pec, but you're moving and grooving here, and you have so many different projects. What's the latest thing you have going on with Major Figs outside of the pro wrestling scape?
Yeah, so I have my podcast, the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, and that has snowballed into our own toy line, Major Bendies. And right now on our website, majorbendies.com, we have recreated the classic LJNs from the 80s. You kind of see them behind me. The big rubber guys, we like to call them.
The big always post. Yeah,
that's right. So right now we have for sale, we have the Road Warriors, Chicago, right? LOD.
Rush.
That's right, baby Hawk and Animal. We also have Matt Hardy and Ethan Page. And I like to call it figure fate. We had this plan for a while, but Matt Hardy now back as Broken Matt in TNA. Ethan Page debuting in NXT. So it's perfect timing to get Ethan Page, Matt Hardy, and of course the classic Road Warriors. So you can get those for 1 month only, 1 month pre-order on majorbendies.com. Perfect fit for your LJN collection or start a new collection.
There we go. And then the podcast is still active as well. You have a whole bunch of different content coming out there, a video channel, everything, man.
Absolutely.
Never stops with you.
We got the audio podcast every Friday. We do the videos on YouTube every Saturday. We do toy hunts. Listen, I'm just living the dream. I'm a big kid who never grew up, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm really fortunate that I get to live out my dreams, not only playing with toys for a living, but actually wrestling. So it's been the greatest 20-year run. I just celebrated 20 years in this business. So it's wild too, because if I would have told myself 20 years ago, you'll still be active and not even hitting your prime, I don't know if I would have believed it. But because of all these wrestlers I can look up to, like Adam Copeland, Christian Cage, Jericho, Dustin Rhodes, still going, still performing at such a high level, I really truly don't feel I've even hit my prime yet.
Exciting stuff. Obviously, come and join us June 12th at Boomer Stadium, boomersbaseball.com. Great night of professional baseball, great night of pro wrestling action. Al Snow will be there as well. Get to meet Matt Cardona, all that good stuff. You can follow me on my socials. I'll have the link as well. Everything for Q101.com. We'll have it up there as well, too. Matt, thank you so much for the time, man.
I appreciate it. I'll see you there, right? You'll be there.
Definitely. I'll be there.
Well, don't try to get a free autograph because I might get physical. I might get physical. You never know.
I don't want you tearing the left pec saying, no, you have to pay for that.
Oh my God.